The air in the sleek, modern boardroom at Horizon Dynamics felt heavy, like the calm before a storm. Eleanor Ellie Harper sat at the polished oak table, her hands resting calmly in her lap, though her sharp hazel eyes tracked every movement. After 18 years with the company, she knew this moment was coming. Across from her, Cheryl Maddox, the VP of Operations, leaned forward with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Beside Cheryl sat Lauren from HR, her expression a practiced mask of neutrality. The fluorescent lights buzzed faintly overhead, casting stark shadows on the glass walls of the 12th floor office in downtown Seattle. "Ellie," Cheryl began, her tone clipped yet syrupy, "we're realigning some roles to better fit Horizon's future goals." She paused, letting the words hang there, like a guillotine blade waiting to drop. "Your position, it's being restructured." Lauren slid a slim navy folder across the table, her manicured nails tapping at once for emphasis. "You've been a key part of our journey," she added, voice smooth as silk, "but we're merging the analytics department into the software solutions unit." "It's a bold new direction," Ellie nodded, her face unreadable. She reached for the folder but didn't open it, not yet. Inside, she knew, was the usual severance deal: 3 weeks pay per year of service, 6 months of health insurance, and a pamphlet for a career coaching service she'd never call. "I get it," she said evenly, her voice steady as steel. "These things are never simple, right?" Relief flickered across Cheryl's face, a quick twitch of her lips. They'd braced for a fight, maybe tears or a raised voice. After all, Ellie was 57, a veteran in a tech world obsessed with 20-something coders fresh out of MIT. But she gave them nothing. No drama, no fuss. "We'd like you to clear your office by Thursday," Cheryl continued, her confidence growing. "Your badge, laptop, and company phone need to be turned in before you go. We'll update your crew this afternoon." Her crew. 5 brilliant data scientists she'd handpicked and trained over the years. The same team that had built the predictive engine powering Horizon Dynamics' flagship app, Insight Flow, a tool now used by half the S&P 500 to forecast market trends. Ellie stood, smoothing her blazer. "Anything else?" Cheryl and Lauren exchanged a glance, thrown off by her calm. No, that's it," Cheryl said, recovering fast. "Thanks for keeping this smooth, Ellie." As she left the room, Ellie passed the executive suite, a glass-walled fortress where CEO Nathan Pierce was mid-pitch, waving at a flashy slide deck labeled Q4 Growth Outlook. The same Nathan who'd bragged about Insight Flow at last year's Tech West Expo, calling Ellie one of our analytics folks while soaking up the applause. She didn't linger. Back in her office, a cozy corner with a view of Puget Sound, she shut the door and pulled out her personal phone. One text, short and sharp, "It's on. Thursday's my last day." The reply buzzed in seconds, "Right on schedule. Papers are set. Dinner tonight to lock it down?" A faint smile tugged at her lips. She glanced at her desk calendar, Tuesday, April 8, 2020. Thursday, she'd walk out of Horizon Dynamics forever. And Monday? Monday would be electric. That night, she met Daniel Voss at the Timberline, a upscale spot tucked away in Bellevue, far from Horizon's prying eyes. As CEO of Apex Analytics, Horizon's fiercest rival, Daniel oozed quiet confidence. He'd booked a secluded booth shielded by cedar panels, perfect for a conversation no one else needed to hear. "They actually did it," he said, shaking his head as the waiter poured their wine. "I figured they might, but to axe the woman who built their whole damn system?" Ellie swirled her glass, the Merlot catching the dim light. "Nathan never got it. He saw the app, the dashboards, the buzz, but the engine underneath? Just nerd stuff to him." She took a sip, savoring the irony. 4 months ago, she'd stumbled on a glitch in Horizon's legal filings. The patent for her predictive engine? Never submitted. They'd called it a mix-up when she asked, promising to fix it fast. But something felt off, way off. Digging deeper, she'd found a memo buried in the company's cloud drive, a plan to label her engine as Horizon developed with no named inventor, then ease her out before locking it down. Thing is, they didn't know she'd been tinkering with the engine on her own time, on her own laptop. Her upgrades slashed processing lag by 39%, and none of it belonged to Horizon. She'd filed her own patent 2 months back, time-stamped and airtight, thanks to a slick IP lawyer Daniel had hooked her up with. It cleared last week. All set, Daniel said now, sliding a leather portfolio her way. Sign this, and Apex gets exclusive rights to your patent. Press hits Monday morning. Chief Data Officer, Eleanor Harper, joins the team. He grinned. What's Nathan's face gonna look like when he sees it? I'm more worried about my crew, Ellie admitted, flipping through the contract. They don't deserve the mess. Handled, Daniel said, leaning back. Offers are ready for all 5, senior gigs, big pay bumps. Up to them if they take it. She signed with a flourish, sliding the portfolio back. To new horizons, Daniel toasted, raising his glass. And knowing your worth, Ellie added, clinking hers against his. Wednesday morning broke over Seattle with a drizzle that tapped against the windows of Ellie Harper's office at Horizon Dynamics. She sat at her desk, sipping black coffee from a chipped ceramic mug, a gift from her team 2 years back, inscribed with Data Queen in bold red letters. The office was quieter than usual, the hum of the analytics floor replaced by an eerie stillness. Word was spreading. People knew something was up, even if they didn't have the details yet. Ellie spent the day tying up loose ends, methodically. She documented every process she'd built, the data pipelines, the optimization scripts, the quirks of insight flow that only she understood. Not out of kindness, no, this was her shield. Pages of notes, time-stamped and precise, proof she'd done her job right, while Horizon hadn't. She emailed it all to Cheryl Maddox with a polite, "Here's everything you'll need for the transition." The exclamation mark a subtle jab. Around noon, her lead data scientist, Javier Torres, poked his head in. "Ellie, you okay?" His dark eyes searched her face, worry creasing his brow. He was 32, brilliant with regression models, and fiercely loyal. She'd hired him straight out of Stanford. "I'm fine, Javi," she said, smiling faintly. "Just wrapping things up. You'll hear more this afternoon." He hesitated, then nodded. "If you're ever looking for references, or, hell, a new team, I'm there." She didn't reply, just gave him a look that said wait and see. The official memo hit inboxes at 2 p.m. Eleanor Harper will be leaving Horizon Dynamics effective Thursday, April 10, 2020, as part of a strategic realignment. We thank her for her service. No mention of her work, her engine, her 18 years. Just, gone. The rest of the day was a blur of awkward goodbyes. Junior analysts lingered by her door, asking for LinkedIn endorsements. The receptionist, a sweet kid named Mia, handed her a card signed by the floor staff. "We'll miss you, Ellie." Scribbled in a dozen hands. Cheryl stopped by late, arms crossed, her tone dripping with fake warmth. "Just checking you're set for tomorrow." "Nathan's thrilled with how smooth this is going." "Glad to hear it," Ellie replied, packing a framed photo of her hiking Mount Rainier with her late husband. She wrapped it in bubble wrap, her movements deliberate. "Everything's crystal clear." Cheryl lingered, eyes narrowing slightly. "You know, Ellie, these shifts aren't personal. Nathan's pushing for a younger vibe, fresh blood, new ideas." Ellie met her gaze, unflinching. "Business is business," she said coolly. A flicker of doubt crossed Cheryl's face, like she'd heard something off in Ellie's tone, but she brushed it off. "So, big plans after this?" "Starting something new Monday," Ellie said, zipping her bag. "Leadership role." "Pretty excited." "Oh." Cheryl blinked, caught off guard. "That's quick." "Well, good luck." She scurried off, already distracted by her next task. Ellie smirked. Cheryl had no idea. Thursday dawned gray and damp. Ellie wore a navy trench coat over her slacks, her silver hair pulled into a tight bun. She cleared her desk, family photos, a stack of dog-eared tech journals, that Data Queen mug, and handed over her badge, laptop, and phone to Lauren in HR. The exit interview was robotic. "You understand all IP developed during your tenure stays with Horizon?" Lauren asked, sliding a non-disclosure form her way. "Absolutely," Ellie said brightly. "Anything I built on company time, with company tools, of course it's yours." She signed, emphasizing company time just enough to feel it, but Lauren didn't catch the hint, too busy ticking boxes. And no proprietary data taken? None at all, Ellie said, truthful as ever. Her patent was hers, born on late nights with her own MacBook, far from Horizon's servers. She walked out at 4:45 p.m., a cardboard box under one arm, the lobby's glass doors hissing shut behind her. She paused on the sidewalk, rain misting her face, and glanced up at the glowing 20th floor boardroom. Nathan was there, pacing, gesturing at a screen, probably divvying up her work to some underpaid 20-something coder. She turned away, a quiet thrill buzzing in her chest. In 72 hours, that room would be a war zone. That night, she met Daniel Voss again, this time at her place, a cozy craftsman house in Capitol Hill. Over takeout Thai, they finalized the Apex Analytics plan. Press release drops Monday 7 a.m. sharp, Daniel said, spearing a piece of pad crop how. You're announced as Chief Data Officer, patent holder, the works. Nathan won't know what hit him. My team's the priority, Ellie said, sipping iced tea. They're walking into chaos otherwise. They've got offers in their personal inboxes tonight, Daniel assured her. Javier, Priya, Marcus, Lena, Sam, all senior roles. They say yes, they start next week. Ellie nodded, satisfied. And the patent terms? Exclusive to Apex, he said, tapping the table. Any firm using your engine, including Horizon, has to negotiate with us now. They'll either pay up or rebuild from scratch. Good luck with that. She leaned back, exhaling slowly. 18 years, and they thought they could just erase me. They didn't erase you, Daniel said, grinning. They handed you the keys to bury them. Friday passed in a haze. Ellie spent it hiking the trails near Snoqualmie Falls, letting the roar of the water drown out the last echoes of Horizon. She didn't check her old work email, didn't call anyone. Her phone stayed silent, except for one text from Javier late that night. Got your offer. Holy crap, Ellie, what's going on? I'm in. She smiled, typing back, see you Monday. Big things ahead. Meanwhile, 10 miles away, Horizon Dynamics was unraveling, though they didn't know it yet. Nathan's Friday wrap-up meeting glowed through the boardroom windows, a smug tableau of backpatting and bad coffee. They'd learn soon enough. Monday morning shimmered over Seattle, the sun breaking through the clouds like a spotlight on Ellie Harper's new chapter. She stood in her walk-in closet, smoothing the lapels of a charcoal blazer, tailored, sharp, a power move she'd bought for this exact day. At 7:30 a.m., a sleek Apex Analytics SUV rolled up outside her Capitol Hill home, the driver tipping his cap as she slid into the leather back seat. Today, she wasn't just Ellie, the data vet. She was Eleanor Harper, Chief Data Officer, and Horizon Dynamics was about to feel it. Her new office at Apex's headquarters in Bellevue was a stunner, floor-to-ceiling windows framing Lake Washington, a mahogany desk already stocked with her favorite pens. At 7 a.m. sharp, the press release hit. Apex Analytics secures exclusive rights to groundbreaking predictive engine, appoints its creator, Dr. Eleanor Harper, as Chief Data Officer. It laid out her creds, PhD from Caltech, 18 years shaping analytics, and made one thing crystal clear: any company writing her engine, like Horizon with Insight Flow, now had to deal with Apex. Tech blogs lit up within minutes. Twitter's losing it, Daniel Voss said, popping into her office with a grin. Horizon's PR team scrambling, total deer-in-headlights vibes. He handed her a tablet. The stock ticker showed Apex up 10% since the bell, while Horizon was already dipping 5%. Ellie leaned back in her chair, the leather creaking softly. My team? Javier texted me at 8:15, Daniel said. Said it's pandemonium over there. Check your phone. She did. A message from Javier Torres glowed on the screen. Ellie, it's a circus. What the hell did you pull? Also, offers insane. We're all in. She typed back, quick and calm, welcome aboard. Start next Monday. Details soon. 8 miles west, Horizon Dynamics Monday kickoff meeting had imploded. Javier's play-by-play texts painted the scene. Nathan Pierce stormed in at 9 a.m., greeted by the General Counsel and CFO, both pale as ghosts. The Apex announcement had landed in their inboxes at 7:02, and the phones hadn't stopped ringing since. By 9:45, the agenda was trashed. The boardroom hosted an emergency huddle instead. They're digging through your old files, Javier texted. Nathan screaming at Cheryl, how'd we miss the patent? IT's pulling server logs now. Ellie could see it, Nathan pacing, veins bulging, Cheryl stammering excuses while the legal team flipped through her employment contract, hunting for a loophole they wouldn't find. Horizon stock slid another 3% by 10 a.m., investors spooked by the uncertainty. At 10:30, her phone pinged with an email from Nathan himself, subject line, urgent discussion. Eleanor, it read, there seems to be a mix-up with the predictive engine rights. Call me ASAP to sort this out. She forwarded it to Apex's legal crew with a note, handle it. By noon, the industry was buzzing. TechCrunch ran a piece titled Analytics Coup, Horizon's Loss, Apex's Gain. Horizon stock was down 9%, Apex up 14%. 3 reporters emailed for quotes. How's it feel? Daniel asked, leaning against her doorframe. Vindicated, Ellie said, staring out at the lake. 18 years of being a ghost in my own work, now they see me. Her assistant, a sharp young woman named Tara, appeared. Dr. Harper, your team's ready in conference room A. Oh, and Nathan Pierce has called twice in 20 minutes. Tell him I'm booked all day, Ellie said smoothly. Legal can talk licensing with him Wednesday. Tara nodded, jotting it down. Ellie's first Apex meeting was a breath of fresh air. The dev team, 10 engineers, half women, listened as she outlined her engine's next phase. No one interrupted, no one repackaged her words as their own. At Horizon, she'd been a cog, here, she was the engine. Early tests on your upgrade show a 42% speed boost, one engineer said, awestruck. That's game-changing. I held back the good stuff from Horizon, Ellie admitted with a wry smile. No point giving it to folks who didn't value it. Back at Horizon, the chaos peaked. Javier texted at 2 p.m., all hands meeting just called. Nathan sweating bullets, keep saying we'll fight this. Cheryl looks like she's gonna puke. He added a PS, team's out. We're with you. When do we start? Next Monday, Ellie replied. Apex'll send onboarding docs tonight. By Tuesday, Horizon's mess was undeniable. Insight Flow, their golden goose, relied on her engine to crunch the massive datasets that kept it ahead. Without her patent, they faced a brutal choice, license it from Apex or rebuild from zero, a years-long slog costing millions. Javier's final update came at noon, boards in crisis mode. Nathan's blaming everyone. Rumors of a lawsuit, good luck with that. Apex's legal team texted her, if they sue, they've got nothing. Your logs, timestamps, personal gear usage, it's ironclad. We're ready. Ellie smiled. She'd played this clean, and they hadn't. That afternoon, she led a briefing with Apex's execs, laying out her vision, next-gen analytics tools built on her engine, targeting Horizon's slipping clients. 2 big fish, Everett Logistics and Cascade Retail, reached out about switching, Daniel said after. They're nervous Horizon can't deliver without you. Good, Ellie said. Every crack in their armor's a win for us. By Wednesday, Horizon stock had tanked 18% since Monday. A frantic voicemail from Cheryl hit Ellie's phone. Eleanor, hi, it's Cheryl. We, think there's a misunderstanding with the patent. Nathan's hoping you'll meet to talk options? Her voice cracked on options. No misunderstanding, Ellie muttered to herself, forwarding it to legal. Tell them to call Apex. I'm done talking. As she wrapped her day, Tara buzzed in, Dr. Harper, Seattle Tech Weekly wants an interview, how one woman flipped the analytics game. You free tomorrow? Book it, Ellie said, a spark in her eyes. Horizon thought they'd sidelined her. Instead, she'd rewritten the game. Thursday morning dawned crisp and clear over Bellevue, the kind of day that felt like a victory lap. Ellie Harper stood at the head of Apex Analytics' main conference room, a wall of windows showcasing the Cascade Mountains in the distance. Her new team, Javier Torres, Priya Patel, Marcus Lee, Lena Ortiz, and Sam Kim, sat around the oval table, laptops open, eyes bright with anticipation. They'd jumped ship from Horizon Dynamics, and today was their first official meeting under her lead. The air crackled with possibility. Let's talk next steps, Ellie said, clicking to a slide titled Engine Evolution 2.0. Horizon's scrambling, but we're not waiting. These upgrades, she paused, pointing to a graph showing a 47% efficiency spike, they're ours to build on. The team nodded, already diving into specs. No executive babysitting, no dumbed-down explanations, just pure, unfiltered innovation. This is what it's supposed to feel like, Priya murmured, grinning at Javier. Across town, Horizon Dynamics was a house of cards mid-collapse. By noon, their stock had plummeted 22% since Monday, a brutal hit that had analysts whispering death spiral. Javier forwarded Ellie a leaked memo. Nathan Pierce had called an all-hands at 10 a.m., vowing to protect our core tech with a lawsuit. He's delusional, Javier texted. Legal's got nothing, your patent's locked tight. Ellie didn't reply, she didn't need to. Apex's legal team had already pinged her, Horizon's attorneys reached out. Proposed terms, triple industry standard licensing fees, plus a public nod to you as the engine's creator. They're desperate. Daniel Voss swung by her office at 1 p.m., holding a printout of the offer. Nathan's ego won't stomach the credit part, he said, chuckling. He'd rather bleed cash rebuilding than admit he screwed up. Then they'll sink, Ellie said, unshaken. Every month they stall, we pull ahead. Friday brought the reckoning's full weight. Horizon's board ousted Nathan Pierce by lunchtime, effective immediately, along with Cheryl Maddox and their head of legal, all scapegoats for the patent fiasco. Industry feeds exploded, Horizon Dynamics CEO steps down amid tech crisis. A new interim CEO, Patricia Langston, emailed Ellie that afternoon, polished, direct, a stark contrast to Nathan's panic. Dr. Harper, it read, congrats on your role at Apex. I'm here to steady Horizon. Can we meet next week to negotiate a fair licensing deal? We're ready to acknowledge your work publicly and correct past oversights. Ellie forwarded it to Daniel. Smart move, he texted back. Phase 1's done, your call on Phase 2. She leaned back, savoring the shift. Horizon wasn't begging, they were bargaining. And she held the cards. That evening, Ellie faced a packed room at the Seattle Tech Weekly interview, a live-streamed event at the city's innovation hub. The host, a wiry guy named Theo, introduced her, Dr. Eleanor Harper, mastermind behind Apex's predictive engine, the woman who turned a corporate blunder into a tech triumph. The applause hit like a wave. She took the mic, steady as ever. Thanks, Theo. Tonight, I want to talk value, owning what you create, no matter who tries to claim it. She walked them through her engine's tech, dry stuff made vivid with real-world stakes, then pivoted. For years, I watched my work get credited to others, sidelined because experience wasn't trendy. This, she gestured broadly, this is what happens when you stop letting companies erase you. No names dropped, but the crowd knew. Twitter lit up, #Ellie Harper #KnowYourWorth. Monday rolled around, 1 week since her Horizon exit, and Apex's star was rising fast. 2 major clients, Everett Logistics and Cascade Retail, signed on, ditching Insight Flow for Apex's forthcoming suite. Horizon stock stabilized after the licensing deal went public. They'd caved, agreeing to Apex's terms, steep fees and a press release naming Ellie as the engine's sole creator. Their valuation still lagged, a shadow of its former self. 3 months later, Ellie stood on a stage at the Pacific Northwest Tech Summit in Portland, keynote mic in hand. The room, 500 industry leaders, devs, journalists, hung on her words. Innovation isn't faceless, she said, voice clear, cutting. It's people who deserve recognition, not replacement. The ovation shook the rafters. Last year, she'd sat in the back at this summit, watching Nathan preen. Now, she owned the spotlight. Backstage, a cluster of young engineers, mostly women, swarmed her. Your story's why I log my side projects now, one said, barely 25, clutching a notebook. I'm protecting what's mine. Good, Ellie said, firm. Never let them take it. By April 8, 2021, 1 year to the day since that severance folder slid her way, Ellie sat in her Apex office, reviewing a quarterly report. Under her watch, Apex had launched 3 blockbuster tools, snagging market share from Horizon and beyond. Their valuation had eclipsed Horizon's 6 months back, a milestone Daniel celebrated with champagne and a grin. "You flipped the script, Ellie." Her assistant, Tara, dropped off an envelope, sleek, embossed. Inside, an invite to the Women in Tech Leadership Forum, keynote, Dr. Eleanor Harper, How Documentation Rewrote an Industry. She smiled, tucking it aside. Her phone pinged with a news alert. Horizon's new IP policies, modeled on Apex's, now mandated inventor credits. Patricia Langston's doing, a quiet nod to Ellie's wake-up call. "You're a legend now," Daniel said one afternoon, lounging in her office. The exec who didn't see her till she was gone, every boardroom's nightmare. "It was never revenge," Ellie said, gazing at the mountains. "It was proof. Innovation's got a name, mine." She raised her coffee mug, the data queen one, chipped but unbroken. To owning it, Daniel echoed, clinking his glass to her mug. Outside, spring sun-bathed Bellevue, and Ellie Harper, 56, fierce, finally seen, knew she'd built more than an engine. She'd built a legacy.